Alright, we're going to test. Looks like it's picking up everything. Dare I say, good evening. Haha! Oh, hey, Puka. Welcome to the return in 2024 of the Sunday Scaries. Amidst a snowstorm going outside. Thank you, Puka. I have done my second round of shoveling, and it's time to play a spooky game. Last year, at this time, it was Little Inferno, I believe. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Time doesn't exist, so whatever. And speaking of time not existing, let's play a game where time doesn't really exist in the way that we know it. We're coming back to Slay the Princess, the follow-up to Scarlet Hollow made by Black Tabby Games. It is a very different kind of game, and it features Jonathan Sims of the Magnus Archives fame as the voice of the narrator and several other voices as we go. So, oh geez. Puka, good luck shoveling if you're going to go out there.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay. Anyway, so yes, Puka still needs to partake of the Magnus Archives. Fun time to listen to it is while shoveling, I'll tell you that. Listen to the episode called The Schwarzwald while you are shoveling. It's a very interesting one for that because it takes place in the woods during the snow. Anyway. Let's pick up where we left off, and I don't remember, but the good thing about this game is it loops, so we'll figure it out.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Don't like that. Ah, yes, all the good choices about why this works. Alright, I'm in the mood to see how this goes. Let's try a slaying first.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
And so we proceed into the cabin. It's been intimated to me.
The cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Unfortunately, this time, there's no mirror here, so I don't get to ask about it.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
And so we go down in the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
The hero seems scared. Let's just continue down the stairs.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Slightly different sounding voice. I mean, I'm just gonna
You
go
step
for it.
forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Oh, you don't know what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Yeah, let's slay that princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Hey, my hand looks a little weird, right? Oh, there's blood on my blade now. On the little cursor.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
I mean, it is at this point in time that I will remind the viewer of the words to my favorite New Blood Revival song, He's No Good For You, specifically the chorus, which says, Step 1, attack when you know it's this version is he. Step 1, attack when you know he's asleep. Aim for the heart and drive the blade deep. So far, so good. Step 2, cut off his fingers to work this effectively. Bury the head and the body separately. Step 3, remember never open your mouth, for then the worms crawl in and the worms crawl out.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Twist the knife and drive it in again.
But is it over? Really over?
Oh yeah. Choice is ruled out because I picked it before. I'm not sure. I feel like she has to have some kind of trick up her sleeve.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
Oh, kid.
I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
So if I remove the blade, she might heal instantly. If I check for a pulse, she might be playing possum and go for my neck. I'll check for a pulse.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck.
Hey, I've got
holding your
fingers.
breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait,
Hey.
what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Blah.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here.
I'm not sure you can, friend.
It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
Where did she get it?
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Bummer. Chapter 2. The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Well, she died, but so did I. But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again? And how am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
Well, that's patently false. What's going on
If
here?
he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Remember when we was odd? Cockney cheated. I like it.
Stabbed to death?
Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
How certain are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
She did.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Excuse me, what does that mean? Made for this job? Let's go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
She will also stab. You're not warning me about that,
Couldn't
jerk.
be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
Oh, simple as.
We
Yeah.
know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
I say we blast off, nuke the cabin from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Hey, our friend the mirror is back.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this extra noise.
Would you stop playing with that radio, love? I'm trying to get to sleep. Alright, there we go. I do care about whether I'm being lied to, but mostly I just want to approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Alright, so if we wipe the mirror clean, what happens? Oh!
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
I hate this place, I do. Yeah. Let's see here. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Gotta make a route, yeah.
The door to the basement creaks open.
All the walls
revealing
are
what must
angry.
once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Blood? I suppose
That's
that blood
right.
is mine.
Scraping. I told you she has something. I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
Uh-oh.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
Aw, how cute.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah. She thinks she's better than us. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
It's a cool layout.
I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Not safe from what?
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
A lot of good choices here. There's no option to lie so that I can get close and make her think that I don't know. There's also no option to throw the knife, which I find silly. Let's try the honest one. Hey, look, what if we're both honest with each other? I was sent here to stop you from ending the world. You killed me last time after coming back from being stabbed in the heart.
That doesn't sound like me.
Last time? What are you talking about?
Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right? Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
Oh. Do you remember what happened last time?
If somebody came into my house and stabbed me to death and then I killed him, surely I would remember that. But I don't remember it, so it must not have happened.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
There's no show me your hands?
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it.
Why do you think she doesn't?
But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
Alright, let's just... There's no other option to slay other than slay, so... Yas bish, slay.
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second.
But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat.
You paused. You hesitated.
Whose meat? Not ours, right? Hers, at first.
At first?
Then yours.
Oh.
Hee.
How? What did she even hit us with? You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with.
Ow.
And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago.
Ah?
It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Wow, strongly yonic imagery there, and it's very frightening.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
I'm with you, Cockney guy.
You're going to die now.
With a twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3, The Arms Race. Interesting.
You're on
Very
a path
interesting.
in the woods.
What?
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. You're what?
Yeah, why
the
can't we?
The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
Excuse you?
I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
Look at me, look at me. I'm the narrator now.
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
Hello, the hunted, you're new.
Good. It's better that way. Without a fight, no one can win, and if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
Oh, we're getting all kinds of folks in here now. Hello, this stubborn.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right?
An entire world?
That can't be right, that's too much responsibility.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better.
Oh, we like you, friend.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table, a pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure. You take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Now, the only thing there is a mirror, so this will be
This
interesting.
feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now.
That's the spirit, stubborn.
That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on.
We approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Do you not know what mirrors are?
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
Like everything is looking more and more distorted
It
as
was
we go.
never there. Just an illusion.
Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward,
Whoa.
but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi. It looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
I would argue something bad has come of it, Cheated. Look around you.
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
Yeah, what does that mean? One entire world? You wanna expound on that?
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
To paraphrase Ministry, or the movie that it's sampling from, where you come from is gone. Where you was going weren't never there. And where you are ain't worth a damn unless you can get away from it.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
Oh, it's Dark Souls boss time.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Yeah, show me your other limbs that are knives.
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
I don't want to surrender. I don't think appealing to authority is going to work. Let's see here. Try flirting with her. That's a wild one. Panicking? No. No. I mean, the ideas do suck, but let's just get good.
Yes, yes. This is the best idea anyone has ever had.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Let's see if we can turn off the part of us that feels things.
Pain is good. It's how we stay alive.
We ain't staying alive, friend, but we might kill her.
Nah, I'm sick of pain.
Yeah, this whole thing would be a lot more tolerable if it didn't hurt so much.
And there's no option to rush her, so do your worst if it can't.
Sure thing. I love a challenge. I bet I can hurt you so much.
The princess closes the distance and we dodge. And you dodge.
Haha!
And we fight back.
And you fight back.
Oh, you're fast. But let's see how fast you really are.
Interesting.
You and the princess enter a quick and vicious exchange, each of you wounding the other, but neither landing a fatal blow.
This is fun.
Yes, yes, this is exactly it.
But the dance couldn't last forever. All it takes is a single clumsy moment. She skewers you.
Cheap.
Gotcha.
And? Does it hurt? No.
Hey, it's the cold. I remember you.
Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
Oh shit, it's getting weird.
I think we're dead.
Hey, it's the broken.
That's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
If we didn't realize we were dead, then we made progress. Good job.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
And yet,
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
so supportive.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances.
Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
Interesting theory.
We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting.
I kind of like the stubborn's attitude here. You have not tried getting good.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
as long as we keep moving. Why not? It's not like dying again and again is doing us any harm. Let's see how far this little mind hole goes, shall we?
Come on, show me something new.
I like flirting. That's not a weak move. It doesn't work, and she kills you again and again and again and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman.
Oh, hello, the smitten.
She skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
Then you skewer yourself.
That's another choice we could have made.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought.
Hey, it's the contrarian. He's back. Like him.
What's the point? It's all the same.
Aw.
She skewers you.
Oh,
Poor
don't give
Broken.
up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up.
Okay, let's go again.
Just panic. Flee.
The paranoid.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
See? We're getting better.
Okay, yeah. That was a good one.
Was it?
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
She skewers you.
We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time.
You're right. One last time, that's all we need.
None of this is working. Think.
Thank you, skeptic.
She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 4, Mutually Assured Destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here.
Just sit back, narrator. We got this
Feels
one.
like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ooh, I like that steel claw.
Oh, what if we throw it out the window?
I mean, we could, but...
Over my dead body.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's been happening.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
Thank you, Matt Berry.
Sure, I can think of a better way to die.
They're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top.
That's our boy.
There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them? Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only...
It's fine.
Whoa.
I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
Huh.
Don't care, just want to win.
Speed run, any percent.
Fine. You make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Was it the mirror?
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now?
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Wow, this isn't even my final form.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine.
Monster Effer the Smitten.
Yes, behold, the perfect woman.
Oh, he loves her because she's made of knives.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
You'd have to touch her, and that'd be the end of you.
That looked painful.
How is she still alive?
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
Why is that all she needs?
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up.
She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
I feel ya.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
All right,
Forget it.
Shut up.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Bye-bye, narrator.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act, and yet, through that inaction, your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Your weapons clash again and again, you and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Ooh. Achievement Water and Steel. Master yourself and vanquish a sharp foe. Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. You do not get to see each other die, nor will you, ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. You approach the mirror. You gaze into your reflection. There is silence as you reach toward the glass. It's time for you to see what's in it. The decay. You've withered. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Hang on a second. Oh, hang on. Not what I wanted. Just a second. There we go. You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. Oh, I actually do want to know, do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
I mean, I do worry about what it has been doing to me. I'll go with no, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Whoa! Everything goes dark, and you die. A sharp vessel. Bring the razor full to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because
While
she's
I
locked up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Are we?
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Lol. Hang on a second. Just checking something here. Sending a quick message. Hanapengu, if you are in the chat, say something. Anyway.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Yes, well.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Alright, let's let her out this time. See what happens. Lord knows we've fought her enough already.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger.
Hi.
It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop the knife.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling
Good sound
hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Look, man, she's made of knives, as it turns out. We didn't have a chance.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that?
Don't just tell her that.
Why not?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
They haven't. Yo, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than them. Oh, hang on. Return. Return.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
Has that been true?
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Mm-hmm. Still have a few more questions before I decide what to do. Oh, I don't have my weapon, though. I can't kill her. I examine the chains and say,
You
"Let's
walk
see
up
what
to
I
the
can do."
chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Oh, welcome back, Puka. You've missed some interesting events. Did you know that inside the princess is a lot of knives? And at some point she can shed her mortal form and be nothing but knives and a heart in a cage? It's pretty terrifying.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Well, yeah. There's... I don't think I could possibly spoil every path for you while you watch, so... Yes, but yeah, she does become a knife elemental, good way to put it. But you gotta work at it to get to that point, and it's very entertaining when you do. Alright, going back upstairs. I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there, and if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Ooh, who could have done that?
Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out of
Your
here!
shouts and pleas are met with silence.
Is it you, narrator? Oh, an interesting plan, Puka.
You're
Very
here
good.
to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Oh, that makes sense, Puka. There are times where audiobooks slide off me as well, but try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Ooh. We return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
And it doesn't sound like easier for her.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Sounds
You
pretty
won't
rough.
like what happens if you do that.
Yeah, I didn't like what happens when I did the other thing.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Couldn't use the knife to snap open one of the links in the chain? Surprising.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
Blah!
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
It's pretty twisted.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Who are you, narrator?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Hey, that's cheating.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
If you could do that, why did you need my
Watch
buy-in in
me.
the first place? Ah, should I slay the princess, or slay the princess, or slay the princess, or slay the princess? Ah, one of the options is warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Well, you didn't narrate that another way. Interesting.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Ooh, still one option that says resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
No, sounds sympathetic.
I'll make this quick.
Oh, hi, friend.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Well.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
I mean, it's not so different from a lot of the other runs. Chapter 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I died. What am I doing
I can
here?
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Oh, that's the skeptic.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Let's go to the cabin.
Warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to.
Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud?
No, I didn't.
Wink.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
We go to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, we're gonna do the whole mirror saga again.
There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blades. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I think you know what we have to do.
Oh, nice. Popped out the chat. Wink. Very good. I do want to approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
And the mirror
You
disappears.
reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Who cares?
But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Alright, this time I'm done with pretense. I'm not even gonna take the blade.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade.
Oh, interesting.
We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Friend, finding our
Are
way out is
you
what this
sure?
problem.
What if she, I don't know, turns it against us?
Like she did
Which
before?
I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes, I'm sure.
Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world.
Okay, I'm trusting you.
Hey, don't I get a say here? What's the big idea?
Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
Oh, now they're calling the shots.
Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it.
No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Mm-hmm.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Oh, she's got 3 chains now.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Let's attempt to leave. I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. You see how locked up she is? I'm just gonna leave her here. Leave the princess in the basement.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually.
Interesting notion.
That's not fair. Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else.
Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Yeah, we'll sit where
You
we
do as she
for now.
asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Good question. That other chain on the wall, who's it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Heh.
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
It's an interesting notion. Let's inspect the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
We're gonna find
I
out.
don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
I thought you were the contrarian now. Interesting.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
It'd be a weird time for him to start.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Interesting.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Some Final Destination nonsense.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Freaking magnets, how do they work?
Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Ooh, Prison of the Mind. Become your
Yes.
own jailer.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
Heh, no.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Did you know this was going to happen to me?
No.
Oh, so we're both stuck here.
Yep.
Not one for small talk,
Nope.
are you?
That's rude. You and the
Wait.
princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
Why is that not safe?
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
I would love to know.
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again.
Well, you know, the first 10 million years were the worst, and then the next 10 million years were also the worst.
And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Have you noticed the basement changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
I think it's pretty relevant.
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass,
And pass.
until suddenly, there are no walls.
And then...
And...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Hey, far out.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Kinda. Schlorp. And away we go. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Oh, there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
You're gonna be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
I'll see you on the other side. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. If you say so.
Your truck feels too good to be true.
You approach the mirror. You gaze into your reflection. There is silence as you reach forward. They're gone again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The remains. You've unraveled. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. You approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are frail and impermanent. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Interesting. Do you think anything is real out there? Do you think we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Interesting theory. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
No. The point of awakening is to find out.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I've been calling him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No. Their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He certainly seems capable of locking the doors. Hang on. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him.
There's no need for you to know what you are going to do before you do it. If you find him, remember that I'll be waiting for you on the other side.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die. A guarded vessel. Bring the prisoner to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay, I'm going to save it here, and I think I'm going to call it here, which is a little earlier than I had intended, about 40 minutes earlier, but I think the next run is going to be longer than 40 minutes, and I'm basically falling asleep trying to do this, so I think I need to stop and rest my eyes. I'm going to call it a night here. Say, folks, get some rest. Fight the snow. Don't let the weather get you down. And hopefully I will be back next week for more Sunday Scaries. So until then, and until next time, thank you and good night, Puka, as the sole person in the chat this time. To everybody else, if you were watching later on the VOD or what have you, and to you, Puka, as well, good night out there, whatever you are.